Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the scorched earth approach to life. Now, it's not what you might think it is. If you were to Google it, you'd find that there's some reference to it in terms of the context of war, but that's not the kind of approach we're looking to take in our own lives. The scorched earth approach in terms of life just means that you pick and choose, and you're very conservative with what you pick and choose, what is crucial and what is important to you, and you get rid of all the rest. Because one of the things that's very common in people's lives is they just go through life and they just hold on to things. It's sort of like hoarding. If you've seen those videos, if you've seen the TV shows about people who hoard, that's how people are through life. They just find things and they hold on to them, and they're like, no, each and every single thing has sentimental value. Be it regret, remorse, fear, essentially grudges, essentially anything that isn't worthwhile. But people go throughout their entire lives just collecting a bunch of things that they think is good, that it's a good idea to hold on to, but in reality it just makes their life a whole lot worse long term. Now, the whole point of the scorched earth approach is to, one, reinvent yourself. Two, it's to get you to let go of what you once was or what you once were in order for you to be able to become what you can be, essentially the newer version of yourself. And one of the really crucial things to highlight is, just like anything in terms of life that requires progress and growth, it's going to be very difficult. It's not a walk in the park. It's not an overnight ordeal. It's going to take, depending on the person, it can take several weeks, months, or maybe a few years in order for them to fully reinvent themselves. But the most crucial thing to note is to just start, to just take that first step and to intend to make your life better. How long it takes doesn't matter. As long as you're on that journey, it'll all work out eventually. And then another part of it is, it's a prelude to our journey through life. Like, you can't spend your entire life going through one avenue of it. You can't have tunnel vision in terms of life. You can have tunnel vision in terms of what you study. You can have tunnel vision in terms of what you do for work. But in our day-to-day life, you cannot have tunnel vision. You gotta have the wide angle lens on there, and you gotta be able to see things from a bunch of different perspectives in order to really value and appreciate life and what it has to offer. And not only that, but for you to be able to get to your full potential. There's a rule that's been referenced many times. At this point, it's considered a cliche, but it's called the 80-20 rule. So on your end, go through and highlight everything that you hold on to. All the regret, remorse, fear, the grudges, anything. All this baggage, mental, emotional, sometimes for some people it's physical, so who knows. But make note of all of it. And what the 80-20 rule is, it says that 80% of what you want to accomplish can be completed by focusing on 20% of it, on 20% of the things. So in the aspect of the scorched earth approach, break up everything that you have into a list. 80% of it is going to be useless. There's going to be 20% of it that's actually important, that you actually need to hold on to, that you can't let go of. So you can't completely get rid of it. But there's 80% extra baggage that you're carrying around for no reason whatsoever. That's making your life a whole lot harder, and it's weighing you down on all fronts. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or even physically. So once you're able to figure it out, what those things are, again, it has to do with attachment issues. So it might be difficult to let go of a huge chunk of it. But the person that you become as a result, I don't know how to explain this because it's something that I did myself. But you have this new sense of, like, it's like a huge weight was lifted, essentially. It's like a huge weight was lifted, and now the opportunities that you have in life are endless. So that's something that you're going to need to consider. That's something that you're going to need to just sever ties with. One thing that I would recommend doing is make a decision to do something. Make a decision that's good for you, like cutting out the things that don't matter, and then switch your mind off. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if that's going to translate very well to you guys, but many of us like to just sit around and think. And we overthink to a point where we start to doubt ourselves, where we start to question whether what we want to accomplish in life is worthwhile. Don't do that. Just make the decision. Say that you're going to cut off all these bad habits, all this baggage. Turn your mind off and just go through the motions. Get rid of it. And then when you come to, you'll realize you're like, you know what? All that stuff wasn't really important at all. I didn't need it. There hasn't been anything that came up in life where I needed that thing. So you just let it go. And so that's essentially what I wanted to talk to you guys today in terms of the scorched earth approach. Although it's not what you might think it is, it's ultimately getting you guys to reinvent yourselves into just a better version of you. And it's not to say that you might have to implement this once. You might have to implement it more than once throughout your life. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't know what challenges might come up later on that will require a different version of us in order to persevere and get past it. So with that being said, have a good day, and remember, ask yourselves, what are you doing today that'll make the world a better place tomorrow?